All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Mark Raymakers here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Thank you so much for taking time to join us here today for this unique webinar. We're really excited about having this one here today. We've got Scott Weingold, who is the co-founder and managing director of College Planning Network. So, Scott, thanks for taking time to help us with this here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So here's how we're doing this today. It's recorded. So the good thing is obviously you can review this when it's completed. I'll email this out to you here by the end of the day. And there's also an opportunity for you to type in any questions that you might have. So what we'll do is type in questions as they come to you. And then at the end, Scott will go ahead and review those. So it is recorded. So keep that in mind. If a client walks in the door and you need to handle that, and then we can pick up where we left off and shoot that out to you. But would certainly encourage you to stay here to the end, gives you an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a couple of presentation slides here for you real quick. We have a new producer bonus, and so some things that we can do for you as far as helping you with your business and complementing what you're doing. First of all, when you get contracted with us and you write business, and you'll see here today that the cases that you would be writing through this college planning will be pretty substantial. So you would see that there's 3 different levels. And when we look at the dollar figures on here, this could be dollar for annuities or single premium life. And then it is a fraction of that for traditional life. So say like $20,000 in target premium would put you at the first level, and then so on and so forth. But if you get to the first level, you decide that you want to collect your new producer bonus after getting contracted and starting to sell these products, for their product, I should say, for this concept, you'll have an option between a $750 cash bonus or a 2-year subscription to website newsletter service or a free iPad. Now, one thing in here, you could go ahead and you could purchase the 2-year subscription to the website newsletter service. Adam in our office can help you get that up and running in 1 business day. So if you don't have a website, it's a great opportunity for you to not only earn it, but you could buy it if you don't want to wait to earn this. Secondly, there's a 300,000 level, which is a full Social Security program and 3,000 piece postcard mailing. This has been very popular if you're looking in front of getting more seniors as well. If you're out there right now and in addition to maybe offering the college planning, this is another opportunity for you to get in front of more people, kind of mix up your business a little bit. You could also buy that if you're interested. Secondly, there's a 2,000 matching marketing money to promote your business. Maybe you just want to do something to give your business a bump or a boost here. Then next, there is the gift card. If you wanted to choose that, you could take any one of those 3. Finally, there's the 500,000 level. If you're into seminars, which that's really a big thing these days, and we got a couple of agents, Matt Gill and Dave Pemper, do a great job at it. If you're looking at doing seminars, they'll help you with that mailing as well as some coaching. Then next is the Ritz-Carlton Travel Rewards program, so you can set up your own vacation if you like. So lots of great opportunities there on the new producer bonus. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask for anyone in marketing on that, and they can go through those with you. All right, Creative Services has a lot of different things they can do to help you with your business. And if you haven't done anything as far as branding yourself or creating a logo or doing a number of different things, whether it's through social media, through advertisements on the radio, newspaper, television, whatever it would be, we can help you with that. And so if you wanted to grow your business through any one of these means, you can certainly call and ask for Adam, and he can help you out in whatever area or however you want to go ahead and market your business. We're real big on training, and you'll notice that if you look at our website, and if you haven't been out to our website, I certainly would encourage you to do that. But with that said, we have webinars every day of the week, and I think it's very important that you stay educated, stay informed with what's going on in the industry. And so the other thing we do is we like to branch out here, and we do an off-site training. I'm putting up a poll for here real quick. I'll tell you how this works, and the sooner we get through this poll here, the sooner we can move into the heart of the webinar. But what we do is IMES will fly you out to, we generally do these in Des Moines, so we'll fly you out to this academy. It's a 3-day event. We pay for your airfare, we pay for your meals, we pay for your lodging. There's really no expense to you other than the time that you spend out of the office. And we'll do 3 of those, potentially 4 next year. And so the nice thing is you come out there, you learn a lot of different things from ways to increase your annuity business to increasing your life business. We have speakers that come from across the country sharing some of their sales ideas, some of their concepts. It's not really a product-driven type of training, although we do use product examples incorporating into the different sales concepts that we'll address. There's breakout sessions. And, one thing that's nice about this that I hear after these events is that you're with your peers. And I have seen and heard some of the best sales ideas. I've been in this business since '88, and there are some tremendous sales ideas that other agents are sharing at this event. So the breakout sessions are very valuable. But we fly you out on a Wednesday. You get out there Wednesday evening. We'll have a dinner and a few short presentations. We do a full day of training on Thursday. Then we do a half a day training on Friday, and then we'll get you back home Friday evening. So if you're interested in attending one of these events, all you have to do is mark yes. What we'll do is we will email you an application. We'll email you the agenda. And then we can let you know what dates are scheduled for 2017. We're still working on those. So just because you mark yes doesn't mean that you have to go. It just means you want more information. So I'd certainly encourage you, if you're looking to grow your business or maybe complement what you're doing by adding life or annuities to your business, this would be a great opportunity for you to do that. And we're paying for that for you. So, okay, let's move on here. Looks like we're not getting everybody's attention. This is a great opportunity, guys. If you're not getting training out there right now, the other thing too is the DOL. We always have something. We started talking about the DOL here in our last training event. It's just becoming such a big part of our business, and so we will address that. We'll be talking about some things to help you be DOL ready, and so keep that in mind as well. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to close out the poll. If you decide that you want to come to this event, again, we pay for all those expenses for you. Just go ahead and type in Academy in the question box or call our office, and we'll get you on the email list and let you know what's coming up here as far as available dates. Okay, and paperless contracting, just real quick, if you wanted to get appointed with one of our carriers, you'll learn here this morning that it's important that you are prepared as far as having the right products available. When you're doing this college planning, you can complete the paperless contracting one time, and then any time that you wanted to add additional carriers, we just simply do that without any further paperwork. Our web address is www.iamsinc.com. There's excellent sales tools out there. If you're running term insurance quotes, we've got the most competitive term products out there right now on the site. Makes it very easy for you. So our website is designed basically to provide you the support when our office is closed, or maybe even during the day. A lot of times agents just do their own quoting online. They pull their own forms. It's just very fast and efficient. And of course, we have all the different products out there as well. So I encourage you to visit the website, www.iamsinc.com. One last thing from me here, the Referred Producer Program. This is a really neat thing. Referrals are huge in our business. And I know that y'all like to get referrals, and, we do as well. Referrals are such a great source for us as far as helping us to grow our business. We've been in this business now for 30 years. And when you refer somebody to us and they get contracted, we'll send you a check for $50 just by receiving a contract. Here's the thing where it really gets nice for you is that every time they write business, you're going to make money. You're going to get paid. It doesn't reduce their commission. You're not in the commission business. You're not responsible for their chargebacks, whatever the issues would be. It's a referral bonus to you. So you can see, for an example, if you were to have 3 $1 million producers, whether that's a combination of annuities and life, that's $6,000 in cash for you. We have agents that are collecting in excess of $10,000, $15,000 a year from referrals. So if you know anybody, refer them to us. We'll get you a check immediately upon contracting, and then we'll send you a check every quarter for the production that they're writing. One last thing that I really like, this is a big deal. We do a marketing reimbursement program. So let's say you put in $100,000 in premium, if that's single premium life or annuity, or $10,000 in target life. We put money into an account for you. So you can let that grow as long as you want, and then go ahead and request it. And here's how you request it. Let's say, for example, you were to do a Christmas party this month and you spent $1,000. You send us a receipt for that $1,000. We turn around and send you a check for $500. We reimburse you up to 50% of your expenses. Just send us a receipt. If you're writing business with us, it continues to grow. We have agents that are doing different seminars. They're buying leads, and their costs are cut in half because they're writing business with us. All they're doing is submitting a receipt. So what does that do for your revenue? Obviously puts more money back into your pocket. And so this is a huge deal. certainly would encourage you to consider that when you get appointed with us here. Okay, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this over to Scott. Scott, I don't know which one of these here is going to be. Let's see here. If you've got your presentation up, we should see it here in just a second.
I will. I'll open it up here. Let me see. Once you tell me what if you see it.
I'm not seeing it yet.
Not yet. Let's see.
What do I do here? Darn it.
Yep, there you go. Is that doing it? Of course.
And let's see here. What do we do? There we go. Do you have yours up?
Yeah. Can you see it?
All right, let me try this one more time. Somewhere or another that didn't work. Let's try it again here.
You have been made the presenter. All right. There we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah. Yep, we're good. And
right,
folks,
perfect.
again, feel free to type in any questions if you like. We'll go ahead and address those at the very end.
All right, great. And yeah, and thanks again, Mark. I appreciate you having me on and being here today. And welcome everyone. And again, my name is Scott Weingold. I'm co-founder and managing director of the College Planning Network. And what I wanted to talk about today is how our program, just to give you guys a little background, our program has been used now for just around 2 decades, and it was used in the past exclusively by one IMO. And that one IMO has written hundreds of millions of dollars of life insurance premium, single premium life, and also just general whole life, indexed UL, regular UL business using this program. They've written hundreds of millions of dollars of, probably billions at this point, of annuity premium using this system. And we just recently opened it up to a handful of select other organizations such as Mark's to tap into this program in territories that we have availability throughout the United States. So I want to get into a little bit more detail of what this is and why it works so well. So there's 4 main things I really want to cover. One is why college funding. Why is this different, and why is this probably unlike other college funding systems you may have heard of or tried in the past? Why does this work? Why is this so special, so different, that it's been so successful? 2, I want to talk about what the actual opportunity is for you, the agent, how this somewhat DOL proofs your business. And I know a lot of agents on this call do a lot of single premium life and annuity business. This system generates a ton of that business. It also generates a ton of those who are looking to do just more general, whole life or indexed UL business as well. So I want to talk about that and how it kind of DOL proofs your business. Part 3, I want to talk about what exactly our done for you marketing and sales training solution really is for you, the agent. And then also number 4, a little bit more about our #1 rated college admissions funding and financial aid servicing platform that you could tap into, and how we've kind of created this and perfected it throughout the years so that we basically do all the work and you just do the parts that you want to do. And I'll get into more detail of this. But so just again to start, why college funding? Why does this work so well? So I myself was an advisor. I still am a producing advisor. When I first started doing the college funding business, this was back in 2004 is when I became an agent doing this. And I had, moderate success in the business prior to doing this. I was, $150,000 of life premium producer. But within tapping into the college funding business, within 18 months, my partner John and myself were doing 7 figures of life premium, of first-year life premium using just the college funding system. So it was something that, we figured we were not the brightest people in the world, and if we could figure this out, then this was an opportunity for many other agents to do the same thing. So the reason that it works so well is that it's the opposite of what most advisors do in the financial services industry. And what most advisors do, and I've made these mistakes myself, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to these, is one, a lot of advisors are constantly selling future needs instead of solving immediate problems. And solving a future need is telling someone why they need to save for retirement, or why they need to buy long-term care insurance, or why they need to do estate planning. It's not that that's a bad business to be in, because you're helping people, and I'm sure a lot of you have success doing it. It's just, it's a different business when you're trying to convince someone why they need to do something now. And I'm sure all of you can relate to people procrastinating, putting things off. Where in the college funding niche, people have this immediate impending deadline that they need to do something about it now, and it's the top of consciousness problem in their mind day in and day out. They're thinking about college 8 hours of the day. They're talking to their friends about it. It's nonstop. So if you could actually solve their biggest problem and help them figure out how to get their kids into the best school and pay for it and lower what they pay, then you're their superhero, and they'll do whatever you say at that point. And I'm not saying that in a deceptive way. It's you're providing them with such an unbelievable service that you're now their hero, and they will do whatever you tell them on the financial planning side, and they will keep referring their friends and family to you for the rest of your career. And that's what makes it a little different, as you're solving that immediate pain. I mean, I use the example of, this is probably 2 months ago now, but I had a sinus headache that literally felt like my head was going to fall off my body. And I would have paid any amount of money in that moment in time to make that pain go away. And that's what it's like, having that immediate pain. I'm sure everyone can relate to having something in their life where you would have paid anything to make it go away. And that's what college funding is for these families. It's if you can make that pain go away and make it so that they actually have a plan on how they're going to pay for this, and they're not going to go broke, and they're still going to be able to retire, then they'll love you. The second part is failure to charge fees in addition to commissions. And I'm not talking about needing a securities license. I'm talking about charging a fee just for the college services portion of what we do. You do not need a securities license to do that. You're charging fee for college services, not for financial planning services. But that fee is good for a couple reasons. Number one is those who have done seminars in the past, maybe dinner seminars, senior seminars, oftentimes they could cost a fortune, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 to do. And you're waiting months to get your money, your marketing dollars back by, once you close your, life insurance and annuity cases. And with the college funding business, by charging that fee for the college services, you recoup your marketing costs right away, like within the first 30 days of doing a workshop. And then all of your insurance commissions, your life insurance and annuity commissions, are pretty much all profit to your practice. So that's the one good reason for it. And second is that oftentimes when you're charging a fee for a service, people just tend to pay attention more to what you're providing. So we found that that's worked really well in our niche, is charging that fee. It's an added revenue source for the advisor without needing that securities license. It recoups their marketing costs, and it makes the clients pay more attention to what you're talking about. Third is not seeking out and selling to a starving audience. I always say that if you have a mediocre product or service, but you have a starving audience, you'll still probably do pretty well. And I'm not condoning selling a mediocre product or service. What I'm suggesting is if you have an unbelievable product or service and you could offer it to a starving crowd, then you'll basically write your own ticket for the rest of your career. And that's essentially what this system is. It's selling an unbelievable product at a price they can't get elsewhere to a marketplace that is really, really badly wants this solution. And fourth is not having a repeatable and scalable plug-and-play marketing and selling process. And I'll go back to when I was, just full-time agent, back in, 2000. This is probably 2002, 2003, before I got into college funding. Like I said, I was doing fairly well in the business, but I would, I'd sell a new client, and I'd be excited for 5 minutes, and then it was a little bit of like anxiety and stress over where the next case was going to come from. And when I found the college funding business, what I realized was that this was something that it replenishes itself every single year. And then throughout the years, as we took the system and just perfected it, now it's something that advisors can truly just plug into it. And it's rinse, wash, repeat. You know exactly how many people you're going to get in front of every month, and it's going to happen like autopilot. And if you're in front of a prospect that just isn't a fit, then you can move on to the next one without fear of who you're going to see next. It's on constant repeat, and the marketing, the training, the selling, the servicing, everything is just plug and play. So, we've built it to that point now. And again, was by no means an overnight success. This is something that's been worked on for many, many, many years to get it to this point. But now it is something where an advisor could just plug into it and have success using it, as long as they follow the system. As long as they follow the system, they'll do very well using it. But that's why this system works so well. It's because it somewhat prevents these 4 big mistakes that we see a lot of advisors make. And again, as long as they tap into this and follow it, they'll do very well with it. So we've kind of dummied this down to a 3-step system. And we believe in keeping things as simple as possible. So 1, we do college workshop marketing. And I emphasize workshop, not seminar, because ours are truly workshops. The people are there to learn. There's no food, there's no drinks, there's no coffee, there's no water served, there's nothing. They're coming to be educated and hoping that you could help them solve a problem. And pretty much so we basically market the workshops for you. You pick the location and the area you want to be in. We do the rest. People show up. Typically you'll get 70%, sometimes as high as 100%, but I like to use 70% as an average of the people in that room to request step 2, which is a free consultation. And a free consultation is where they come into your office. Most of our advisors do all of their consultations from their office. If you want to travel to see them, you can, but in college funding, if you want everyone to come to you, they will. But this free consultation, we give you the script to follow, the questionnaire to follow. It's very easy. And this is where you present the fee-based college service solution to that family. And most advisors will get 25 to 40% of the people that come in for this free consultation to sign up for their fee-based college service. Now, the average college service package is $1,900, of which the advisor typically keeps about $900 of it, and they pay CPN $1,000 of it to actually do the services, because you don't want to be meeting with the student and doing interviews, and you don't want to be filling out financial aid forms or doing anything like that. You just want to be spending your time doing part 3, which is the financial solution sales. This is where you present and transition over to the life insurance, annuities, and assets under management. Most advisors will generate 25 to 50% of those that sign up for their fee-based college service sale. They'll get 25 to 50% of them to do some kind of financial product solution with them. So we teach you how to make that transition. It's a very easy to transition into that life insurance or annuity sale or assets under management or all of the above, depending on what side of the business you're in. And the average case size is pretty significant. So if you're selling, a typical whole life base premium on average is about $8,000. If you're selling indexed UL, your average base target premium is around $12,000. So most advisors who do this will do typically 2 workshops per month. That's average. I still have a local practice in Cleveland. We do about 5 workshops a month in our local practice, so about 60 per year. But most advisors will do 2 workshops per month. Some want to dip their toes in the water and just do 1 a month, and that's fine. But most do 2, is I'd say the conservative average. An average advisor will typically get 2 fee-paying college clients per workshop and 1 financial product client per workshop. That's very average. So some do far better than that. Some will get 4 college clients and 3 financial planning clients per workshop, but I'd rather be conservative and use the 2-in-1 number, the 2 fee-paying college clients and 1 financial planning client per workshop. So at an average fee of $1,900 per college client, 2 workshops per month would generate 48 fee-paying college clients, which would be about $91,200 in fee revenue. It would also generate about 24 financial product clients for you, which I use the base whole life premium. I didn't include, paid up additions or any single premium sales. That's $192,000 of base life premium and about $1.2 million of annuity premium, just from being an average producer doing 2 workshops per month. So again, if you're a great producer, you should do much more. If you decide to do more workshops per month, you'd obviously do much more. That's just the initial revenue that comes in from this, about, give or take around $300,000 of revenue for an average producer who plugs into the system and does a couple workshops per month. So pretty significant numbers. And that does not, and this is where this business is really cool. So not only do you get all that business just directly from doing those workshops, but once you get going with it, these numbers do not factor in the business that you get from unsolicited referrals. And I emphasize because you constantly get a ton of unsolicited referrals doing this, because parents who have college-bound children, all their other friends are parents of college-bound children. And because they talk about college nonstop, they're constantly telling other people about this. And you'll get those phone calls, once you get going with this, you'll get a monthly on, hey, Scott, would you mind working with my friends Mary and Joe? I talked to them about what you did for us, and they want to do the exact same thing. Can you help them? And those are very, very easy people to work with, because they already know exactly what's coming. They know that their friends were very happy with it, so they are more than happy to work with you. You get a lot of clients who inherit money at this age group. Their parents start passing away, and you get those phone calls. Hey, Scott, my mom just passed away. I'm about to inherit $800,000. Can you help me with that? And because you provided this great service for them, then again, you're their advisor for life now, and they want to make sure that that money doesn't hurt them for college, and they also just trust you. IRA rollovers, that's a big one too. Just because you're in front of these families and you provided them with a great service, you see that a lot of times these families have money sitting at an old employer in an old 401k, or maybe they rolled it into an IRA and an E-Trade account, didn't really do anything with it, and they've got $400,000 sitting around that it's yours now just because you were in front of them again and provided this great service. And we also have a built-in drip system that I'll talk about in just a minute that all the people that do not end up buying from you, we constantly drip on them for you with your to brand you, but it's a built-in drip system. I'll talk more about this, but we've seen upwards of an increase of 25 to 30% of additional sales that come in a year, 2 years later, just from this drip system without you having to do anything for it. So these are all numbers on top of the 2 college clients and 1 financial planning client per workshop. This is all additional business that comes in from it. So you can see how it adds up very, very quickly. And it's just a fun business to be in, because when you're solving someone's biggest problem, you have people in your office crying. They're emotional. You have a sense of it's not like when you do financial planning for people, you feel like you're helping them. But when you have people truly telling you that they never would have been able to do this without you, or these aren't, a lot of people think they're going to be in front of low-income prospects. These are families. Our average family is in the $120,000 to $180,000 income range with assets. So you're not talking about low-income families. We're not serving the ultra-wealthy, although you will get some. You will get some that come in, and we're not serving the very, lower part of the populations. It's like the middle to middle upper classes who we're typically working with, and these are people that they need your help, and remember, these are the people that most financial advisors stay away from, because they're in their spending years. They're in the spending for college years. Most people are going after the people who are about to retire so they could get their retirement money, or the young professionals that are starting out. These are the people that have kind of been forgotten about, and that's why it's such a great opportunity. So what actually do we do? Well, there's the Done-For-You marketing and sales training solution. So we have our Done-For-You Set for Workshop Success program, where we basically built a multi-million-dollar marketing department. We recruited the ex-head of direct marketing from Newsweek magazine to build this for us. And we've basically built a college workshop marketing program, and we've become the absolute specialist in that. So we never claim to be an expert in doing retirement seminars or annuity seminars or long-term care seminars. We know nothing about that, but we are the absolute best at doing college workshop marketing and getting qualified butts in the seats for very low cost. That's what we're really good at doing. And we do this well so that everything is handled for you. Your entire marketing department becomes outsourced to industry professionals. All you need to do is provide the zip codes you want to be in and the location you want to do the workshop, and we basically handle everything else for you. So you tap into our Done-For-You Workshop Success program. Like I said, we take care of the entire process for you. We build private labeled landing pages around you, handle the RSVP process for you, the confirmation emails, everything. And everything has your look and feel to it to brand you and increase your professionalism. This isn't branding CPN. This is branding you and your company. So we center everything around. This is an example of a landing page that a prospect would go to register for a workshop. It has a local community feel to it. And the other thing is we've tested and spent millions of dollars throughout the years of trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, so that you don't have to spend, you know, ridiculous amounts of money to figure out. We test on our own dime and only roll out the winners to our advisors. So again, this is labeled, private labeled around you. You could have a picture of your office on there. You could have a picture of a college, whatever you want there. Everything's mobile optimized so that your prospects that are registering for a workshop on their phone or their iPad, you know, it makes you appear more cutting edge. It has a built-in turnkey CRM system for your college funding business. If you have another CRM system you use, that's fine. It ties right into it. But this platform will run your college funding business for you from a workshop RSVP all the way till someone becomes a client. It allows you to have visibility of each workshop, the date, how many mailers were sent, how many people RSVP'd, how many people bought, how many showed up, who didn't. You can convert a workshop prospect into an actual client with the click of a button. And you automatically get to utilize our tested and proven drip campaign to anyone that does not buy from you. So if you're only getting, let's say on average, 2 sales per workshop, then there's all those other people that RSVP that did not buy. They constantly get dripped on from us. And this has been huge for our advisors. It helps you generate more leads and make more sales from this, where you don't have to do anything. A lot of advisors who try to go out and buy these private drip campaigns, they'll spend a couple $1,000s a month just on creating a drip campaign. We've had our own we've hired expert copywriters in the college funding field to go out and create this ongoing series for us and create authority for you, the advisor. And then in each email that goes out in this drip series, it's circling back around to requesting a free consultation with you. And again, it's been tested and proven. We've seen up to a 28% increase in overall sales from the follow-up. So it's all ancillary business on top of all those numbers that I went through before. This is an example of an email that goes out. This is Tim. He's an advisor in our local office. Our local Cleveland branch is called Strategic College Funding Solutions. That's my and my partner John's local college funding practice. Like I said, I still do this myself, but this is an email that comes out. It has Tim's name on it, his smiley pretty picture. It was authored by Tim. Even though Tim obviously didn't write it, you know, our copywriters did, but everything's branded around Tim so that when the people are finally ready to come back in, Tim's the guru and they want to work with the guru. And it would be the same thing for you guys, is that it would be, you know, centered around you. The other thing we offer is ongoing sales training, and I know Mark talked about how big he is on sales training. We're the same way. You know, we do free access to live CPN University events, where we do a 2-day live training in our headquarters in Cleveland. It's not mandatory. You don't have to go, but a lot of advisors end up taking advantage of it. It's a 2-day true training session. We don't sell anything there. It's free. You come, you need to get there, and that's it. And we train you for 2 days on, you know, just you get to meet the staff, you get to see the services. It's been very, very helpful for advisors. We believe in a very parallel relationship. So our business philosophy, and some may disagree, but it's what works for us, is we believe in things have to be parallel, meaning it has to work for us, it has to work for you, it has to work for the client. So we don't charge huge upfront fees to access our system. You know, while we could get away charging monstrous fees to basically get into this, that's not parallel to us, because we feel that we win no matter what, and even if you don't use it or you're not successful, then you don't win, and that's not parallel. So what's parallel is we want you to be successful, because the more successful you are with this, the more workshops you do with us, the more college clients we service of yours, and then we make money, you make money, you know, because you're writing a ton of the life insurance and annuity business, and the clients are happy. So that's a win-win-win to us. So we don't charge you to come for this training. We do ongoing training every single month on the phone. We do phone coaching every month on closing more people at your workshops, your free consultations, and also on the life insurance and annuity side, how to convert more of those prospects to financial product sales. We go through case studies. You know, so again, it's constant training, because we want you to be successful at this, because candidly, we're not going to make any money doing this unless you're doing well with this and making money and using the system. So we have every incentive to train you, and that's why we're selective with who we take on with advisors. We want people that we feel are going to be really successful with this in areas that are open for them to be really successful in. So the College Planning Network servicing platform, just to give you a little background, the actual services the clients receive, College Planning Network's been offering college funding services since 1994. We've worked with tens of thousands of families. We are ranked the #1 college financial aid expert worth knowing about in the entire country. We're kind of the go-to college financial expert for countless media sources now. We write for Huffington Post, Reuters, CNN Money, USA Today, U.S. News and World Report. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau with countless positive reviews on there. I'm not saying this to toot our own horn. The reason I'm even going through this is that you being the loan advisor new to this, you get to tap into this so that you don't have to be the expert on financial aid forms or what's picking the right school for a student or how to negotiate a financial aid offer. All you have to do is introduce the relationship. We're your back office support partner, and all you handle is helping them come up with the plan on how they're going to pay for college, lower their costs, how it's going to transition into their retirement funding plan. So you could tap into our expertise without you having to do this. And that's what's so cool about this system nowadays compared to when I started doing this years ago. We had to do a lot of this on our own, and it wasn't that fun. And you had to spend a lot of time doing activities that weren't profitable and that weren't enjoyable. And now it's to the point where you could just, again, you could plug and play and just do the things that you want to do. So again, but we've been around the block for a while. We have a great reputation out there. We let you private label our college funding solution. So again, it's all branded around your company. You put your company name on the services, you're private labeling them. We welcome and onboard your clients so that they understand the relationship between you, them, us, their student, who's going to do what along the way, so there's no confusion. Each family gets their own family dashboard. So you, the advisor, will have your own advisor portal where you could log in and manage your clients, trainings on there. You can book your workshops on there, but the families all get a dashboard as well where they log in, keeps them on track. They know what's coming up, what's been done, every step along the way. It's very professional looking. We do personalized student portfolio development and assessment where we have software that helps the students pick the right major, the right school, the right career. Because most kids nowadays, believe it or not, it's actually taking about 5.8 years to get an undergraduate degree. So our goal is to get them in and out in 4 years. And again, if we do that, then you look like the superhero because you save them 1 to 2 years of added college costs. So again, we use this tool to help them pick the right major, the right school, the right career. And we have a personalized private student interview with a counselor from the National Association of College Admission Counseling. So we have counselors all across the country that do a one-on-one mentoring session with the student and provide a written report with a summary of the interview and recommendations for the student. Now, parents love this because more often than not, their kids don't tell them anything. So by getting a third party involved, they'll sign up just because of this. They'll sign up just because someone's going to talk to their student besides themselves that they'll actually listen to. And that's also the reason why a lot of kids take 5-6 years to get an undergraduate degree is that they're not laser focused and that the parents and them weren't on the same page going into this. So it dials everyone in and gets everyone on the same page. We created an in-depth personalized chances of enrollment analysis that lets the students see exactly what their percentage chance of getting into any particular school is so they don't waste their time looking at schools they just don't have a shot at getting in at. We have our own SAT prep courses and ACT prep courses. So as part of the service that they sign up for, they get a SAT prep course and ACT prep course. The average SAT and ACT prep course, like bundle, is typically $1,200. That's part of that $1,900 fee they pay. They get their very own SAT prep course and ACT prep course. So it's a huge value add that they get that as part of that fee. There's also the FAFSA forms and CSS profile forms, and I don't know if anyone on this call has been through this process themselves, but it's one of the most hellish, anxiety-ridden processes that parents have to go through. We do their FAFSA forms and CSS profile forms for them, so they do not have to. That is huge. You all families that make $1 million a year that'll sign up for your services just because the spouse does not want to do this. Because oftentimes even to get the merit-based awards and scholarship dollars, they still have to fill out FAFSA forms, and they just don't want to do it. So you will get people who will pay you a fee just because you're going to help them do these forms for them. And not you're not doing them, we're doing them. But that again is part of that fee that they pay. We also evaluate their financial aid offers. We have our own evaluator tool. and we write appeal letters if we feel that the family was under awarded. If the family was under awarded, we go to bat for them to try to get them more money. These are just a couple of before and after letters that of getting families more money. But we get, I mean, during appeal season, we get, you know, if not daily, every other day we're getting a successful appeal, because we know what schools will work with the families, which ones won't. We know what to say so that they'll listen to. We got a set of twins. This is our biggest one ever. We got a set of twins at Duke, $70,000 in additional aid their freshman year. So over 4 years, that appeal we did was worth $280,000 to that family. Now that's obviously a huge one, but we're constantly getting people an extra $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 more per year. So again, we're doing all these things for these families for such a low fee, and the reason we could do that is simply because of economies of scale and because of all of the money we've sunk into the system already throughout the years, that now advisors can tap into it and offer these services at a very affordable price for families. You look like the superhero, and you get, you know, obviously the life insurance and annuity business as you know, from this. We also have Right Fit Group expert coaching sessions throughout the year. So we do 1 to 2 a month. We do group sessions with counselors. So everyone gets that one-on-one session, but we, in order to keep the costs down, instead of having, you know, 20 individual sessions throughout the year, we'd have to charge obviously a fortune for that. We do group sessions throughout the year so that they get the same content as if they were one-on-one, and they could ask questions via the webinar, but they do them in a group setting so that obviously we only have to pay that counselor that one, you know, for doing that call instead of having to do that call for thousands of families. So it's a way for the families to get access to that coaching without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. We also built a 4+4 roadmap for success that tells the families exactly what they need to do every month along the way through all 4 years of high school and all 4 years of college, so that they don't get overwhelmed, so that they take it month by month, step by step, and every step along the way. So when someone signs up for your services, the very next step is typically they meet with you to do what's called the financial discovery analysis, which we train you on, which is simply you going into more depth about their finances to basically put together a plan for them. 97% of the time they do that right away, but in the rare instance they don't, it's always on our task list in front of that family that if they have not yet scheduled their financial discovery analysis with their college funding advisor, they need to do that immediately and start working on their college funding plan. So we're constantly in front of them for those handful of families that don't end up scheduling with you right away after they become clients. We also built our own financial aid award estimator software that you get to use, which is great to use at the free consultation, where you could show a family at any given school what they could expect to pay at that specific school, and if you can lower their costs at that specific school. So it's something tangible to show them. That's a huge selling point at that first meeting that you could use. That you know, we built this software that advisors love, because again, it's a great selling tool to use at that free consultation. You could actually show them something visual. So how does this work to you, the agents? Like I said, we want this to be a parallel relationship. We're not in this to charge you monstrous fees up front, but because we're blocking off areas for people, we want to know that you are somewhat committed to this. So we do charge you a small upfront fee. It's $390. By no means is that a moneymaker. That's just for you to actually have to go into your pocket and pay something so that we know you're actually serious about doing this. So it's a one-time $390 fee to access the College Funding Success Academy. Then there's an ongoing monthly fee to access the Financial Aid Award Estimator software, the CPN platform, and all of our sales training. It's $178 a month. It is fully reimbursable based on production. And the production minimums are workshop production minimums and college cases minimums. They're not a lot. You don't have to do a ton of business to get that back. But again, we want you to have to pay something so that you are committed to doing this. If at any time you decide this isn't for you, you could stop it at any time. But pretty much everyone that ends up doing this gets that fee back, because the minimums to get it back are nominal. If you're going to be in this business, you're going to be doing enough business to get that back. And to do a workshop, every time you do a workshop, you know, for those of you who have done senior seminars in the past and have spent, you know, $7,000, $8,000, this will be a breath of fresh air to you. But the average workshop, all in, for the mailers, the names, the postage, the drip campaign, the RSVP process, the confirmations, everything we're doing, the CRM system, is typically $2,000 to $2,500 for a workshop. So obviously much, much less than it costs to do a traditional financial services workshop. You could do some smaller than that if you really wanted to, and you could do some much bigger than that if you really wanted to. But the average workshops are typically around $2,000 to $2,500. No food, no nothing else. The College Funding Success Academy, what actually comes with it is the actual system, right, that I talked about, the urgency-based marketing system, which is how to get a flood of qualified prospects wanting to see you every single month, which we're basically doing it all for you, but that's step one. Step two is the workshop speaking solution, which is how to get 70% or more of your workshop attendees to request a free consultation. That's where we give you our actual PowerPoint presentation for the workshop and the training video, and you get to watch. It's actually me doing a workshop. Very easy to learn. You can get up there and read the slides, and you'll still do very well with it, just because, again, you're talking about when it's someone's immediate problem, they just want help. So you don't need to be the best professional speaker in the world to still get a great result doing it. Step three is the trusted consultant selling solution, which is where we train you how to convert 25 to 40% of your free consultations into fee sales. Step four is the Set for College Funding solution, which is how to utilize the CPN services to deliver a world-class experience for your clients. And step five is the Financial Products and Services solutions, which is how we train you on how to convert 25 to 50% of your fee clients into financial product clients. Many of you, we created our own worksheets that we use to present to families, which we share with you. For those of you that already use other systems like Circle of Wealth or Bank on Yourself or whatever it may be, you could use that as well. You could, it's very easy to just transition right over into whatever system you're currently using. We do monthly sales training calls on the workshop and first appointment fee sale, and like I said, on advisor financial services solutions, annuity and life insurance case studies, reviewing cases, how to make that transition into the planning. So here's kind of the only catch with this is so like I said before, in the past, this was done for one IMO for years. We had advisors all across the country and who were very successful doing this. We came to the point where our services and our marketing systems were scalable to the point where we wanted to branch out and work with other select groups, such as Mark's, to put advisors in areas that we don't have other advisors currently, or if there's an advisor in that area, there's enough capacity in that area to support another advisor. So that's where we're at right now. We're looking for select advisors in select areas that we feel will be very productive with this business, that can make a go of this, and that could tap into our system and add a huge other leg to their business. And whether it's something you want to do part-time on the side, or if it's something you want to build an agency around, it's really up to you what you want to do with the system. But there is territory scarcity to this. Where we're especially now that we opened it up, it's pretty much on a first come first serve basis, and they do go fairly quickly. And that's not like a cheesy sales pitch. It's just the reality of this is that when now this has been opened up it's only been a couple months now, they do go up fast. So what we do basically, next steps involved is if you're interested in the opportunity and kind of what I talked about today, and you want to see one, if your territory of interest is available, and two, if you qualify for enrollment, then we've set up a URL for you to go to fill out an I'm interested form. It's www.cpnenroll.com, www.cpnenroll.com, cpnenroll.com. And like I said, the available territories do get filled on a first come first serve basis to qualified advisors only. And again, like I said before, it's not like a hokey sales pitch. It is just the reality of this. They do go fast. So I'd highly recommend, if you are interested at all, to fill out that I'm interested form right now while it's still fresh on your mind. Again, it's cpnenroll.com. And see if the opportunity is available to you in your chosen area. What we do is we set up a 20-minute strategy session to review your territory, to review any questions you may have, because I know some of you have probably typed in some questions now that we could cover, but a lot of you will probably come up with additional ones. You might want to know how they relate specifically to your practice. So that's why we set up that strategy session. But again, they are limited. It is on a first come first serve basis. So again, I highly recommend you fill that out now. We'll get that form, we'll review it, we'll reach back out to you to set up a time to talk and go over your territory, see if it's available, go over questions you have, and kind of what next steps would be. So again, www.cpnenroll.com. And Mark, that's pretty much all I have on my end.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll go to questions. I just want to throw something out here real quick, as I had mentioned, that we have the market reimbursement. So it would be an opportunity for an agent to go through the program and utilize that market reimbursement to cover the fees that you talked about. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast. Okay. All right, questions. How many family units come to workshop on average, would you say?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a common question. It does depend on where you're at, what part of the country, and what time of year we're in. Most advisors will get anywhere. If you ask our average response rate throughout the years, throughout the country, is around 0.75%. We have some advisors that get 2%. We have some advisors that get 0.5%. But and you can make it work even at 0.25%. You can still make it work. But on average, they'll get about 0.75%. So someone doing a 3,000 piece mailer, they could expect to get 20, 25 people to show up.
Okay. And then Mark also asks, how many meetings on average would you say for deals closed with the family?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
How many meetings typically with each family? I suppose it depends.
Oh, like how many meetings in general with a family?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you have a free consultation, which is to see if the services are a fit. So that's meeting one, assuming they are and they sign up for services. The second meeting is what we call a financial discovery meeting, where you basically go over their financial situation in more detail. The third meeting is where you present your financial solution to the family. And typically you're going to take apps there, or you're going to, set up maybe a fourth meeting, which you take apps there, and that's essentially it. So
Okay.
between three to five max meetings.
Okay. Jerry asks, do you have programs outlined in Spanish?
It's a good question. We do not. We do have some advisors who have people come and translate them, and they kind of do it themselves, but we don't have any in-house, but we do have some advisors that do that.
Okay. He also asked, what is the time element from mailing to potential commodity purchase?
So a mailing will go out typically, give or take a month prior to the event. You do the event. You collect fees within that first 30 days after the event, and then it's typically another 30 to 60 days to get paid on the actual product sale, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling annuities or simplified issue single premium life, then you'll get paid much faster. If you're selling like full underwritten whole life, then it's going to be a couple months.
Okay. And then Gail asks, if a family has a college in mind, can that plug into this system?
Absolutely.
Okay. And Dennis asks, is there a yearly renewable fee on the FAFSA each year?
Yeah, so if the client wants to stay on for us to do the forms every year, then there's an annual fee of $348 to the family. Some families want us to do it every single year just because they don't want to deal with it because it's not a lot of money. And others, just want us to really do it for like the first year for them, and then they want to handle it on their own. So it's up to them. It's not mandatory, but it's up to them.
Okay. John asks, are you licensed in New York, in New Jersey?
Yeah, absolutely. We have advisors that are there, and we do have some availability in those areas, depending on where the agent is.
Okay. And Mark asks, can I do a workshop by computer using GoToWebinar?
Can they do a workshop that way? Yeah. Well, we actually do. Some advisors will do virtual workshops where they'll mail in another state and then run a webinar. So I mean, you can do that. You typically will not get as good results as if you do it live. But you can do that.
Okay. All right, let's see, just going through. Ed asks, is there a best time of a year to do this?
Yeah, I mean, all throughout the year, so we always recommend do workshops every month because we used to take the summer off just because the weather was so bad in Cleveland. We actually got to enjoy the summer a little bit. And in this business, you can do that. But the problem was when we'd start back up again in the fall, it was this lag of getting, things started back up again. So now we always keep a flow going every single month. We do cut back in the summertime. We'll do less workshops, and we'll do less workshops like around this time of the year, like the holiday season. And then we ramp them back up again, like, January through May, and then August through, mid-November.
Okay. And looks like there's questions about this being recorded. This is recorded, so you'll get a copy of it as well. Can you charge more than $1,900 for fee?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. That's just the average. So we have different programs that we offer advisors, meaning that they could offer their clients. We have, depending on the level of services that the advisor wants to present to the client. Just the main package that most advisors sell a lot of, we recommend a $1,900 price tag. Some advisors charge $3,000 for it. We have some packages that advisors charge $5,000 for, and they end up making money off the fees. We always say, don't go too crazy on the fees. Do volume. Make enough to pay for your marketing and your staff, and make all your money on the insurance products. But some advisors do charge more money where they do actually, make a little bit of money on the fees as well.
Okay. All right. Question box is empty. Folks, if you have any questions, certainly be sure to get those typed in so we can address those. So, Scott, I don't know if you want to make yourself available to them if they have questions. How you want to do that? Obviously, you gave them the email address. Would you prefer that if they call me, then I give them your phone number if they have additional questions?
Yeah, what I was going to recommend is we actually have a CPN account executive in our office that works with a lot of our outside advisors.
Okay.
That if they want to contact him directly, they can as well.
Okay.
I'd still recommend filling out that form.
Yeah.
But if they do have additional questions after they fill that out, or before they fill it out, if they want to ask him a question, they can. It's Peter, Peter, .moisio at collegeplanningsnet.com. I could say that one more time if you want me to, also.
Yeah, would you please?
Yeah, it's Peter .moisio
okay.
at collegeplanningsnet.com.
Okay. All right. Looks like we had a couple more questions popped up here. Is there a reduced fee when you're working with twins?
Yes, and actually for siblings, so the $1,900 fee or the main fee is a family enrollment fee. So they actually pay that per family, not per student. So for a sibling, it's a much reduced fee.
Okay. And let's see.
Anywhere from free to $1,000 depending on the package that they sign up for.
Well, I think you've already said this, but Ron is asking what are the required fees to the client? That's the $1,900, right?
Yeah, and we have packages as low as $1,400 and packages, like I said, as high as the advisor could charge, $5,000 for.
Okay. And let's see, Jose says, do you recommend for us to have an office if we now work 100% from home?
I mean, ideally, I would say, from a positioning standpoint, it's great they come to you. But, we do have successful advisors that still go to the client's house or their offices. We always, before I did college funding, I always went to see people just because they wouldn't come to my office.
Mm-hmm.
When we started doing college funding, we happened to be in a nice office at the time, so we had everyone come to us, and they did. So we always recommend if you have an office, have them come to you. They will, just like they go to they go to their dentist or doctor. It's no different.
Yeah.
But if you don't have an office, don't let that prevent you from doing this. That's what I would say. If you're thinking about getting an office anyways, then it might be a good time to do it. But
yeah. So somebody asked again, what was the email address that you had given? If you want to repeat that.
Yeah, it's PETER .MOISIO at collegeplanningsnet.com. It's a long one.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. Then Richard asked, have you heard college planning relief.
Absolutely. Yes. I don't want to get into saying things that I shouldn't. So
Yeah.
we're very different. We're very different. I'll just say that.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there, yeah. Let's see. Are CPN services in-house or are any outsourced to another company?
Yeah, so all of our services are in-house, except our counselors we have some in-house, and then we have some that we contract out to throughout the country. But they all have to be members of the National Association of College Admission Counseling for us to contract to them.
Okay.
But everything else, we've built our own software. We have our own internal staff doing all the forms, doing the appeals. Everything's in our headquarters in Cleveland.
Okay, so going back to the fee, Ron is asking, and you had addressed this earlier, so I don't know if Ron came on late, but of the $1,900, $900 of it goes to the agent, Ron, and the $1,000 goes to CPN.
Correct.
Okay, and let's see, Edward asks, there are a few college planning firms available. Again, please delineate why you are superior. You have shown great humility in your presentation.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, and look, I don't want to, I hate like knocking on others, but I'll just say this, is that most of the other ones that are out there to this day are all in some form or another graduates of our system that basically just tried knocking off what we did, but because they didn't have the resources to really build it the right way, and I'll just flat out say it, they deliver a pretty schlocky service. And the theme being, it doesn't really matter. The key is just give them a bunch of reports and information and get them to sign up for your services, and then just sell them on your insurance and annuity products. And what we've found throughout the years, and for many advisors that have used some of these other companies, and again, I'm not going to name names, but when they come to our group, they'll say that it's just a very different atmosphere. We have real people. We've dumped a lot of money into this, so it's a real business with a real service center, with a real platform, with real software, with real tools. The sales training, it's just a whole nother animal. So it's look, if someone wants to try one of those other ones out and then see what they think, then by all means, it's up to them. And like I said, I hate talking down on others, so I don't want to name names, but I'll pretty much say it's been across the board that we've heard this, from many advisors throughout the years that have been through some of these other programs and then have come back around. So it's, like I said, I guess we deliver a very, very real, tangible service that parents like. And when our belief is that you have to deliver that great service, or else they're going to see right through what you're trying to do and not do the other planning with you. And we've seen that happen many times throughout the years. So our belief is deliver a very, very good service, promise less, deliver more. And then they follow through and listen to the other financial planning recommendations, which is why you're doing this in the first place from your own standpoint. So I hope that helped address it.
Yeah. It's funny, Scott, I'm going through that process right now. My first son's going to college, so it's like, whoa, it's a big deal, and it certainly helps to get some advice. So let's see, Gary asks, this is available. Gary, I'll be emailing this out to you here by the end of the day, so you get a chance to review it. And then, of course, if you have any questions, we can certainly help you with that. Earl asks, is there a canned presentation?
Maybe he's referring to the workshop or the.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely a canned workshop presentation. It's pretty easy. The slides are there. You could just read them. Eventually, once you've been doing it a little bit, you could, you have stories you could talk about. Mm-hmm. The free consult, that is canned. The free consultation is we give you a questionnaire to follow off, and really you ask a lot of questions, and then the questions kind of sell the services. It's not like a high pressure sales thing. It's really a lot of asking a lot of good questions. They're doing 80% of the talking, and at the end, if there's a fit, you present the services, and it's pretty simple. And then the discovery meeting, the same thing. We have a script for you to follow. When I say script, meaning it's like a questionnaire with questions to follow. And then the planning, we give you outlines based on the situation, like agendas to follow. Like if it's a asset repositioning case, or if it's just they make too much money, they're not going to get need-based financial aid, but they still need, help with a plan on how to pay for college and retirement. Maybe there's no plan to do, but they have, money sitting in an IRA. How do we transition that over? So, that's more ongoing training on that stuff. And then, like I said, we have spreadsheets for you to follow, but we try to keep it pretty simple.
And let's see. Sel said, I noticed a few negative reviews in using insurance products for college planning. How do you address these things?
Yeah, I mean, most of it, like if people will say, like I guess, it's like going to bat anytime you're trying to sell whole life insurance or insurance or annuities. People saying why you should buy mutual funds or invest in the stock market. It's really no different than that. The only added advantage we have here is that, depending on the family situation, oftentimes the insurance products that you're recommending don't count against them for financial aid. So it's one more added benefit of doing, the fixed insurance products with you versus the, leaving the money in a stock account or, or whatnot. So, I mean, sure, you'll get that a little bit, just like in any other time you're presenting insurance versus, what their other alternatives are. But I will say it is much, much less because I would, if I had to put it on one thing, I would say because there's also a financial aid component that they're willing to overlook that many times.
Okay, Jerry asks, do you have a special training seminar for those of us that subscribe to your program?
Special training seminar. Yeah, so we have a live training in our offices in Cleveland. We do those typically 3 or 4 times a year. But some people don't make it to that right away. So we have basically the next steps is when someone enrolls, we set up an onboarding call with them to go over all of our resources for the advisor and what they need to learn right now and what they could wait on, because we don't want you to get overwhelmed either. And then, from there, there's recorded trainings that we have you watch right away. But again, not a lot. We try to keep it simple to start. And then there's ongoing training calls every month that you plug into. So we kind of methodically spread it out so that you're not trying to learn everything at one time. You're learning it in baby steps because, you need to learn how to do a workshop. Then you need to learn how to do the free consultation. Then you need to learn how to transition it to the financial products. And we kind of handle it in that order. So we're pretty methodical in our training.
And then Ron asks, what are the demographics for marketing?
Yeah, so part of having this ex-head of direct marketing for Newsweek is he has special relationships with list vendors that, you or I can't necessarily get on our own. So he basically does all the modeling and list building and merging and purging of names to generate the people that come to the workshops. Now, I don't know every criteria he uses to generate them, but I will say that the average client that comes in from this, like I was saying before, is right around that $120,000 to $180,000 income range. That's our average client with some assets, equity in their house. That's the average clientele. You'll get some families that make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. You'll get some families that make $70,000, $80,000. The only time those families typically make it through is because they, a lot of times you'll get like business owners that maybe they don't show as much on their tax return, but they have assets, or you'll get, someone inherited money, or, a spouse died and they got a life insurance proceeds, so their income's not high, but they're sitting on a pile of money, which those are great clients when you get those for this. So, but that's our average demographic of a family, 2 to 3 kids, 120 to 180,000 income.
Tim asks, how is this DOL proof?
The life insurance that, yes, there's an annuity component to this, but if you want to transition this all to long-term whole life indexed UL, that, you could do that and not worry about the IRA money, the qualified money, just using their non-qualified assets and just, working with that part of it.
Yep. And then Tim asks, do you use local attorneys if special needs trusts are needed?
Yeah, I mean, that's more, we don't have our own that we refer out. That's more an individual advisor. If they have their own relationships, they could do that.
Okay. Derek asks, for the financial products, do we have to be contracted through IMS? Absolutely.
Boom.
We would certainly like you to be. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to help, our agents and advisors, as well as to hopefully bring some more on board, showing some things that we're trying to do to help you be successful in the business. And as you may or may not have seen, that through the market reimbursement program that we have, these fees that you would be paying as an agent would be cut in half, because basically that's what we do with our reimbursement program is we help make it more affordable for you to offer a great sales tool. So you don't have to
Which
be.
is huge. That's huge.
Yeah. So we would certainly encourage you to, and hope that you would, take a good hard look at that. Tim says or asks if you have no securities license, do you limit your sales opportunities?
No, I would say no. I don't know an exact percentage, but I'd say over 50% do not carry a securities license. Moving forward with DOL, depending on what actually ends up playing out, you might find that you want a securities license, but if you don't have one and don't want one, then you could still absolutely do this business without having one.
Okay, so Clyde asks, before I enroll with the program, can I attend one of your training sessions?
Typically, we don't do that. What we do is when someone enrolls, that's when we give them access to everything. So they could view the PowerPoint, they could view the workshop, they could view the training videos. That's once they enroll, they get username and access to tap into that.
Okay. This is kind of digging down deep here, but Richard is asking, is a 529 plan count as an asset towards financial aid?
Yes, it does.
All right, and John asks.
Well, let me step back for a sec. Most of the time it counts. It depends on who owns it, what type of school, but the majority of the time it will count against the family.
This is probably more a comment, but John says you only limit your insurance opportunities if you do business in New York only. Okay. So he's probably a New York agent, right?
It's like no one else joined in New York.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. You know what? Looks like the question box is empty. A lot of good questions. And, I guess if you wanted to pursue this further, you can certainly call our office here. You see the numbers on the screen here, 800-255-5055, and then we can certainly put you in touch with Peter and, do what we need to do to get you up and running. And so, again, thank you so much, everyone, for attending here this morning. And Scott, I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you taking time to help us with this great opportunity.
No problem, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So keep an eye on your email. I'll shoot this over to you here this afternoon. Once we get this set up, we'll put that in a YouTube with a link. And then again, if you have any questions or additional interest, please give us a call here at 800-255-5055. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.